MAGA is turning on Trump. Now, we all know that more than 20,000 emails have come out, many of which are implicating Trump in the Epstein drama, and has tied him closer than we ever knew before between Epstein and Trump. But that's not why MAGA is turning. In fact, we've actually seen people like Megyn Kelly try to defend pedophilia now, saying things like, as for Epstein, I've said this before, but as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is the person's view who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like, he liked 15-year-old girls, and I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make up an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts that he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. I mean, just so we're clear, 15-year-old girls, not barely legal. That is illegal. It's disgusting. But this is where MAGA is heading on the Epstein stuff. They're going to try to turn themselves into a pretzel to try to defend it. But that's not why MAGA is turning on Trump. While this was all happening, I think the left wing and the mainstream media focused on Epstein, but there was a civil war brewing. And it's over this clip that we showed a couple of days ago, where Laura Ingraham might have led to Donald Trump's own destruction.
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that
way. Makes sense to me, actually. Like, I'm pro-immigration. I'm sure most of you are too. But this is not okay with MAGA, because it's supposed to be America first. And what he's really saying is that Americans are stupid, lazy, and talentless. That's what he's basically saying. Now, that led to Nick Fuentes, the real leader of the alt-right, who is going to, I think, make a big impact in the 2028 elections. He made him declare that, quote, MAGA is dead. And many influencers on the right echoed that. But Fuentes also said this on his live stream.
And we played this game in the first term. We're 10 years in. And you still have these people, I hate to say it, but they're just like in denial. And they're like, okay, everybody, let's all go on Twitter and let's tell Trump, don't screw over your voters. Okay. Hey, Trump, don't hire John Ratcliffe in the CIA. Like, what are we doing? We lost. It's over. The time to make demands was during the election when he needed the votes. He's a lame duck president. He doesn't need anything from us. He's not even on Twitter. He's on Truth Social. So what are you talking about? We're going to all rally and tell him, don't hire yet another neocon? Forget it. We tried that. I'm not playing that game anymore. Trump sold us out. He is the problem. He's cooked. And you know what? Look, I'm not saying damn him to hell. I think he's a net positive. His movement was necessary, but it was never the end all be all. He's a patriot. God bless him. But here's the point. He was never the end all be all. He was always a John the Baptist. He was always a prefigurement of what will come in the future. But people forgot that along the way. They thought we really were playing for like Heritage America and like whatever. Trump was a stepping stone towards America First, white identity, towards a true nationalism, true revanchism.
Kind of crazy that he's just like white identity. All right. And Benny Johnson, though, did not attract Trump. This is just to show how damaging that 1 minute and 17-second part of the interview was. Because Benny Johnson, though didn't mention Trump, and Benny Johnson, as we've talked about on this channel, is a MAGA mouthpiece, propagandist. He basically says whatever the White House wants him to say. He said H-1B is a scam. All available data proves this. It's time to end this grave insult to the American worker. So he's going very much so against Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is no coward when it comes to going against Trump lately, says, I believe in the American people. I am one of you. I believe you are good, talented, creative, intelligent, hardworking, you want to achieve. I am sadly against you being replaced by foreign labor like with H-1Bs. I am sadly against foreign students into our colleges and universities like 600,000 Chinese students just to financially prop them up. If they fail, they fail. The system in place isn't helping our young people. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. So there's another wedge issue. We have Epstein and we have this, but I think this is actually more damaging than Epstein ever will be. And Laura Loomer, probably the only person who came out against this, saying MAGA is not dead. Many of the people saying this didn't even vote for Trump in 2024. Look, I am super pissed that Trump brought Giuliani to the White House. I hate the fact that the MR of Qatar is flying around in Air Force One when he belongs in Gitmo, but I'm not going to say MAGA is dead simply because Trump is fraternizing with insane genocidal Muslims. MAGA is much bigger than one person's preferences. So I do think that's right. I do think that what has happened actually is that MAGA, or if you want to call it the alt-right movement that really led to Trump, is not dead. I think what has happened is that it's become bigger than Trump, and Trump can't control it. Trump was actually the thing that the Republicans, the establishment Republicans, thought they could control. They thought, well, let's just get Trump and his voters on our side, and we can pass the legislation we want. Now, what they didn't realize was that Trump and his movement became so big and powerful that it actually consumed them. They had no choice but to join it. I think the same thing is happening right now. There's a same war happening on the right, only this time the establishment is MAGA, and the rising movement is Nick Fuentes, America First, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know how it's going to shape up, but when you have folks like this saying, I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020, I was MAGA in 2015 and voted for him in the primary, you're allowed to change your mind as new information is presented. Trump is a con man. When you have people saying things like, I'm one of the largest pro-Trump commentators in the nation. I get tens of millions of views every single month talking about Trump's America First agenda. And right now, I'm absolutely fucking beyond pissed off that tonight, as a justification for H-1B visas, Trump said that Americans don't have talent. Absolutely unreal. That has 1.8 million views. When you have people saying things like, was he always this bad and we just didn't see it? I mean, I knew he wasn't going to be as conservative as I would have liked, but I never imagined he would be anti-American like this. It's just brutal. And again, 2.3 million views. The best thing Trump can do to save MAGA is fire every advisor telling him to say the dumb shit he's been saying. No, there's no one telling Trump what to say. This is all him, baby. I'm just going to let them figure it out. I'm not going to say anything. Let them fight. Let them fight. And this is the thing that I think is really under the radar. Like, the Epstein stuff is juicy, and obviously we're going to talk about it. But it's this that I think is actually the real fight that's going on, is that Donald Trump is, one, obviously a pedophile, or at least saw pedophilia and looked the other way. Two, everything he ran against or ran for, he's now against. So MAGA's having some identity problems. Let them have them. We're going to keep watching it. I'm going to tell you more about it as it's happening. Do hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.